Queendom. Good morning, everybody. I'm late. I'm literally late today. Today was just one of those I am not feeling it days, and I'm really not feeling it today. My side hurts. My lower back hurts. I've been getting headaches, so I know that my blood pressure is messing with me. And then I just was having, oh my God, all kinds of visions. And every time I went to sleep, I was dreaming and having visions. The people, and I think it was people in the chat. People that were in the chat when I did the readings yesterday. And I remember someone saying that I was watching on YouTube this other psychic that she's black, and she was saying how some of them tap into their third eye, and some forces it, and she was saying never force it, let it happen naturally, because she says she had a friend who forced her third eye open, and she couldn't sleep for a week. She said she was having just all kinds of visions and dreams and a bunch of stuff, and she could not get any sleep. She didn't get any rest or anything, and so she was just like, I don't advise it. I wouldn't advise like forcing that open, which is understandable. I remember as a kid, as a child, I used to always have these dreams and always see things right before it happened, and then I'll be at the location, I'll be at the place, then it'll happen. Every place that we have ever moved, that I have ever moved with my children, I saw it beforehand. And I saw exactly, like my house that I'm in now. I dreamt that house maybe 6 months prior, and I'll never forget how I realized it was my house, because I was in the bathroom. I was in my jacuzzi bathtub, and I laid back, and I remember looking out the window into the backyard at the lake. If you look out my bathroom window in the summertime, you can really see it in the wintertime because the leaves are not all there, but in the spring, the fall, the winter, you can see the lake, and you can see the lake in the wintertime when it's covered in snow and all of that, so you could see that. And so after maybe about a week or so after we were kind of settled in the house, I said, let me test out the tub, right? And that's when I found out that my tub was so much bigger, longer than I was. And I baptized myself. Laid back, tried to stretch out, and bloop, went down in the water. And I got up, wiped my face off, and I looked out the window, and I saw the lake. I was like, oh shit, this is exactly what I dreamt. And then I remember when I lived in Rogers Park. When I lived in Rogers Park, it was my first three, my oldest three. I didn't have the twins. I didn't have Angel. I didn't even have Benjamin. I don't even think Benj went, because I was pregnant. Ooh, this was 20 years ago. 2 years ago to be exact. Sydney was a baby. Sydney was little. Sydney was walking around, and I was pregnant with Poppy. And we had moved to Rogers Park. And that's in view that don't know Rogers, up north, the north side of Chicago, way up north. And I remember we had this huge walk-in closet. Huge. This walk-in closet, it could be another bedroom if you wanted to. If you wanted it to be like a small, nice bedroom, for one of the kids or something like that, or a built-in office or something. It was the right size for that. That's how big this closet was. And I remember before we moved in that apartment, I had a dream that I was sitting in the closet folding clothes. That's what I had a dream. I had a dream, and I was saying to myself when I woke up from that dream, this was before I didn't even realize I was going to be moving up that way. And I said to myself, why am I sitting in the damn closet folding clothes? Well, at that moment when that happened, I got that premonition. It came back to me that I was there before. And then, so when I got to house is now, I realized that every place we moved, I've seen us there before we moved. And I remember as a young child, I remember as a young girl, that things that I really wanted, things that I really prayed for, if I dreamt about it, it happened. It happened through school. I remember when I can't do a flip to save my life. Okay, so I knew I couldn't try out for the cheerleader team because I couldn't do flips or anything. I didn't know how to do splits. I couldn't do none of that stuff. But I knew I wanted to be on pom poms, and because we had cheerleader and pom poms, and I knew I couldn't dance. I ain't got no rhythm, but I could follow steps. So I knew as long as I was able to follow the steps that the girls were teaching, I would be okay. And I tried out for pom-poms and everything, and I made it. I had made it. But before then, I had prayed about it, meditated on it. Do you hear me? Every single day I prayed about it. I meditated on it. And I remember seeing them passing out the flyers, and everybody, the cheerleaders was passing out the flyers, and everybody was talking about it, and they were saying how they was putting together the pom-poms team. And I said, what the heck, I'm just gonna try out for it. And I tried out, and again, I went home, I prayed, I meditated about it, and then I dreamt it. And I dreamt that I was on it. And then next thing I know, a couple of weeks later, I got picked. And even then, I didn't realize the gift that I had. I just knew. I don't even think I realized. I just knew something was here. And even my mom had a friend who, she was a psychic. She was a they called her a witch. They was a witch. She said, "No, honey, I'm a gypsy." And she was one of them old school, 70s gypsies. And we was at her house, and she said, "Gina, come here." And I came, and she was asking me all these questions, asking me a series of questions. And she would ask me, she was like, "Do you dream things? Do you dream a lot?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she said, in your dreams, when you dream, sometimes they come true, and you think it's weird? And I'm like, "Yeah." And then so she says, when you're standing by people, or you're in the presence, and I was like, I was young, so I was like, what does presence mean? I didn't understand it. She was like, when you're in the same room with somebody, or you by somebody, she says, do you pick up real weird feelings from them? And I would tell her, yeah. I said I could be next to somebody or in the room with somebody, and I would tell her I instantly get angry. And then other people, sometimes I'll instantly get happy. And then some people, I'll just instantly crack up. They'll just instantly make me laugh. Like the one lady I was tapping into that I read a few nights ago. Remember, I was asking her, I said, why do I feel like I want to cry? I said, when I talked about, I mentioned her mother. And when I mentioned her mother, I said to her, why do I feel like I want to cry? And she was like, she don't know. And I said, is your mom okay? And she said, well, her mother had been stressed out. And I said, okay, well, maybe that's it. I'm picking it up. After I got through reading her, she came back and said, oh my God, Miss Gina. She said, my mom was having a panic attack and she was crying uncontrollably. That you felt it. Because I just felt like I was ready to just break down the second I mentioned her mother. And so that's tapping, into that's that inner, that's that spirit, that you pick up from people. And so I've had this gift like for a very long time. For a long time. My twin boys have it. Angel has it. An angel concerned about, they'll come and they'll tell me. If it's not something that's really, look, we pop back in. If it's not something that's really bad, they just, write it off. They just, it's whatever. And I told Angel, I said, Angel, you have that same gift. You have that psychic ability. And I remember, like, especially with my children, I could pick up their energies. I could things that goes wrong with them. Like with my son, when he didn't, and we went, what was going on, which is dangerous. It's dangerous to fall asleep, headphones on. How many teenagers, how many people, period, have died because they fell asleep with those headphones, and those headphones get really. And my son happened to be one of them that fell asleep with the headphone, and I just felt something was not right. My oldest son had a dream. I took a nap. I never forget this. The twins were babies. They were babies. And I took a nap. And in my dream, my oldest son was driving down this dark road. And he had no light in the car, nothing. And the truck hit him. I didn't see his kid's mom in the car and with him. I just saw him. And I told my husband, and he said, well, why don't you call Trey and see if he's okay? I said, you know what, you're right. Let me call him and see if he's okay. So I called him. He wasn't answering his phone. So I called his kid's mom, and I said, are y'all good? Is Trey good? She was like, yeah. I said, because I just had this weird dream that you guys driving down the back road and that y'all got hit by a car. A truck hit y'all car. She said, oh my God, Mom, she's not gonna believe this. I said, what? She said, we were on our way to come to your house. They were on their way to come to, and I was staying way south. I stayed University Park. It's like you drive down that dark road going to University Park. You wind up, you see deers and all kind of stuff crossing the highway you can run into. At night, the road is really dark. So she said to me, she said, we were on our way coming to your house, and she said, for whatever reason, all the lights just went off on the car. And I said, what do you mean? She said, every light, he had no lights, no headlights, no backlights. She said something happened that all the lights just went out. And she said we had to turn around and go back home and go to the shop because we didn't know what happened. And I was like, thank God. Because I saw him going down that back road, but I woke up before the truck hit their car. And that must have been around. Turned around and they went back. So I've been these, psychic abilities and these dreams and premonitions and all this stuff for years. Since I was a little girl, for years. And then I found out later that, my grandmother, my grandmother's from Puerto Rico. My dad's, and she was a psychic. And she used to, do readings and all. I remember the family talking about that, telling us about that. When I was a kid, I remember that. I was looking at the Christmas trees over so I could see them better. Like, and you just like Nana was a witch. You be like that. You be like Nana was a gypsy or Nana. I thought about it, and sorry, I keep freezing up, you guys. I thought about it, but she never really mentioned it or anything. That's how she made her living. That's how she made her living. Now, my grandmother, that was on my mom. I was told, not my grandma, but my great-great-grandmother had those abilities as well. Now, I don't know if my had them. That I'm not really sure about. But I remember my mother telling me that that my great-great-grandmother had, and my mother thought it was weird. I don't know if she had it or not, and she thought, because I told her my mom is deaf and she had other senses, and we knew her other senses were stronger. But she never, if she did have it, she never spoke on it. She never ever spoke about it. But she just thumped it like other people, that was something evil and that was something wicked, and that could have been some issues with our problems as well as me growing up, because I did have those abilities. And so last night, I remember I said I was so relaxed and everything, and I said, ooh, this reading's gonna be good. And I tried out my new cards, and my first time ever in those tarot cards out, and I love them. I love them, I love them, I love them. And then after that, after I got with the reading with you guys, I just went on and did my my research. I always do my research. I write my notes to help me out for when I'm doing my readings before I went to bed. And that's what I did. And literally, when I fell asleep, I fell off to sleep with the TV on, and baby, I just started having dreams and premonitions and all kind of stuff was happening. And I'm like, why am I having dreams about all these people? Everybody, it was about everybody that I didn't know. And I said, why am I having these dreams about this? And to come to find out, it was people that was in the chat. So we're going to talk about this some more. Maybe we'll talk about it when I come back on my lunch break. I just made it to, so I shall talk to you guys later. I love you guys. Peace, God bless, and ta-ta for now.